captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Yes, sir. Special nightly episode of Captain by a Hook with the Red Beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs. This is literally what you've all been waiting for, ain't it? Since I've started the show, it's been college basketball heavy because it is my favorite sport, favorite time of the year. We got the bracket. The bracket is out. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna talk about this long. If I go over 30 minutes, I'm gonna just cut it off. I'm bringing out the pencil. This is initial reactions. Putting the pen away, initial reactions. I'm just gonna run through it, see what I like, see what I don't like. We just got the bracket. I'm super excited. Again, Captain by a Hook with the Red Beard. This is Selection Sunday evening show special extravaganza. I left my water in the kitchen. Who gives a hot ham? Let's get into it. Man, just jumping out at me. Bama really don't have to play nobody to get into the Sweet 16 that I think they should be scared of. So Bama right then and there, Sweet 16. Now, I think they cover both of these games. Just off the top of my head, whether it's Maryland or West Virginia. That game right there, ooh-wee, 8 seed, 9 seed, Maryland, West Virginia. Man, I really have no idea what I'm going to do on that one. I guess I'm just going to pencil in all the upsets I like. I can come back, run numbers. I will somehow break down each one of these regions and brackets and games over the next week very in-depthly. By Thursday, I will definitely have all my picks in the Thursday morning episode at 7 a.m. live, as always, on Captain by a Hook. So, San Diego State and Charleston. I'm not really big on Charleston this year, man. I think San Diego State handles that. I'm just going to pencil them in first. Virginia and Furman. Man, I love this Virginia team. Very underrated team, Virginia. I think they should be, I don't know. I think they're a little sneaky at this 4 seed. I think they can sneak in and do some damage. Creighton and North Carolina State. That's another one. Up in the air matchup. Tossing it up. I like Creighton off the top of my head, but North Carolina State is very disciplined team. I like the way they this is initial reactions. I have none of these numbers or anything broken down. I just know North Carolina State has held their own in the ACC. So it's really, I don't know. Creighton, they've been wishy-washy all year, injury prone, bitten by the injury bug. North Carolina State there, I kind of like that spot for them. North Carolina State. I'm a pencil in Baylor. I guess I'm a pencil in NC State. I got the pencil, I can erase it. I think Creighton wins. NC State covers a 4 or 5 point spread. I wish we had the spreads already, but again, this is just initial reaction to the bracket coming out. Missouri and Utah State. It's gonna be hard for me not to take Utah State in this spot. I'm gonna pencil them in off the top of my head, and of course I'm gonna give AZ. Although I don't know, I'm gonna look at that spread. If it's Arizona minus 20 or something, I might have to rock with Princeton plus the 20. Ivy League kids always come in, and I like taking Ivy League with the plus numbers in the first round. One of my little quirks and quirks. I don't know if that's a real statistic, if it's even a good bet or a good trend, but I always take them plus the points. They're not gonna rush bad shots. You might beat us, but it's not gonna be. We're not going to just get blown out. We're going to lose by 12 if it's a 20-point spread. We're going to lose by 4 if it's a 6-point spread. Houston and Northern Kentucky, man, Houston breaking my heart with the injury to Sasser. I did take advantage of it today and took Michigan's money line at plus money. But going through to the tournament, I don't have any update on Sasser. But boy, oh boy, would it be heartbreaking for Houston to be without Sasser. I would have Houston over any of these three teams, just like I would Bama, Iowa, and Auburn. I think are going to beat each other up enough. I don't have any lean on either of these 8-9 games at the moment. I always, just going back to the last one, I always, for some reason, end up betting West Virginia the first round, and it's been breaking my heart the last 3 or 4 tournaments. So West Virginia, I told myself I was gonna stay away from them, but I may end up talking myself into betting West Virginia over Maryland, even though I'm leaning Maryland. Back to this Iowa and Auburn game, two teams I really don't like. If they were playing anybody else, I probably wouldn't bet them. Might end up staying away from that matchup. Might look at the over. I think both of these teams get into the 80s. I really don't know though. I like Bruce Pearl. I don't. There's not anything like. There's nothing about any one of these teams that makes me want to bet them, especially not against each other. Miami and Drake. I think that's going to be a lot closer of a matchup, than it looks. I wonder if that number comes out as like, if it comes out anywhere over 4, like if it's Miami -6, I feel like Drake has to be the play right there. I'm gonna pencil in Drake, just betting wise. I'm gonna take it if it's anywhere over +6 for sure. Indiana, let's go Kent State right there. Kent State over Indiana in the first round. That's a game I would even look to take the money line on. Indiana, there's only one way they really win, and it's if. And it's not even like win, it's if. Tracy Jackson Davis has to give them 25 and 15. And even if he does that, they still might not win. The chances of them winning, he really has to drop 30 and 17. He has to get them over the edge. Give me Kent State to upset number 4 Indiana in the first round. Honestly, I would have took whoever they put up against Indiana in the first round. They're talking about teams out right now on CBS if you're watching that and watching this. Man, doesn't it feel like Rutgers should be in this tournament? I haven't looked over it enough to look at what team I would have taken out to put Rutgers in. But man, it just feels like Rutgers should be in this tournament. That's the one team that stood out to me as how did they not make this thing? Iowa State, Mississippi State, and Pittsburgh, all three of these teams, any one of them can win those matchups. Xavier and Kennesaw State, I'm going to go with Xavier getting out of the first round. I don't know. I can see Iowa State now that I'm looking at it. I'm going to go Iowa State. I'm going to have them beating Xavier too. Iowa State's going to the Sweet 16. Initial reactions, I'm calling it. I might switch it up. Like I said, it's pencil, baby. Got the eraser for a reason. Texas A&M and Penn State. I love Penn State and I love Texas A&M. I was rooting for Texas A&M to get in this bracket about a month ago when nobody had them in. I'm glad they made it up to a 7th seed. Penn State is going to be a tough 10 seed. I'm going to stay away from that at the moment. Texas, this is another one. Like, how big is this number going to be? Do I get Colgate at +11, even +7? I'm going to definitely, can't wait to get these numbers. I keep refreshing here. Man, I don't know. I think Texas is, I love Texas. They balled out all year. Shout out to Rodney Perry getting them guys rolling after all the BS. But I will probably be on Colgate plus the points. Texas has like, they go cold. It's a little too much for me. Inconsistent on the offensive end. I can see Colgate staying hot. Texas getting cold for a 5 to 10 minute stretch, and next thing you know, it's an upset brewing. All right, Kansas. I think these 1 seeds are safe getting to the Sweet 16. Usually I take an 8 seed, 9 seed, and this might change after I run numbers. This also might change according to how they look in the first round. Definitely. Always am down to change my decision on the fly when I'm using my pencil. So, but Kansas over Howard for sure. Arkansas, Illinois. I think I'm going to lean Arkansas. I'm going to write that in the pencil. And I'm going to take Kansas over Arkansas in the second round. St. Mary's, VCU. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with that game yet. St. Mary's will probably be the safe pick. I have to do a little more research on VCU. They're honestly one of the teams that they're probably the team I know the least about in this whole tournament. So I'm gonna do some more research on VCU over the next day or two. UConn taking on Iona. I feel like committee did this just so Rick Pitino can't shine on them and get an upset. UConn definitely gets this game. I don't think Pitino is Superman enough to. I think UConn is the most talented team in this bracket, not the best team. I've said it like 3 times on my show. I think that UConn's the most. They have the most talent. 1-on-1, point guard versus point guard, 2 guard versus 2 guard, down the line to the 4 and the 5. And I love that kid, number 32, coming off the bench, the little freshman. He comes in and just plays a beautiful game down low for UConn. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, going over my initial bracket reactions. A little over halfway done with it. Jumping over to the rest of the West region right now. TCU, man, I love ASU. I hate that they have to play Nevada and then turn around and play TCU. I think TCU gets the better of either one of these teams due to the fact that it will be a dogfight getting to TCU. And I think TCU takes advantage of that. Zaga over my Grand Canyon University, the Lopes. Crazy that the Lokes made it. Give me Zaga minus what's it like 200? I'll take it. Give me Zaga minus whatever those points are right there. I'm jumping hard on the Zaga train. I think I'm jumping hard on the Duke train too, even though I got 2 futures tickets for Oral Roberts to go to the Final Four. But I don't know. Something tells me Duke got something up their sleeve. I think the same thing about Zaga. I think they've been coasting. I think they're ready to turn it on. Northwestern and Boise State. Give me Boise State to come out of this, even though I love Northwestern and Boo Buie. I think Boo Buie is going to have to drop about 40 just to get them to a victory, which I think he's capable of. However, Boise State, some tough guards, man. They're going to guard them. I don't think Bo Buie gets Boo Buie. I don't think he gets loose. I think I'll be surprised if he gets 20 on this Boise State backcourt. The course, I'm going to go UCLA. They're probably my favorite team. UCLA and Kansas, those are like my 2 favorite teams. The injuries suck. This is a stacked region. This might be the best region to me. You got heavy hitters, man. UConn, Kansas, Zaga, UCLA. All 4 of those teams I can see winning this entire thing. So to have them all in the same region is crazy. The other 2 regions I touched on at first. I mean, after Houston, maybe Miami. I mean, Texas, Xavier, Texas A&M, like none of these teams really scare anybody. Indiana definitely doesn't scare anybody. And then over here you got Bama. I guess you could say San Diego State, Virginia, Arizona might be the only other scary team over here is Bama, Arizona, and then Houston. And then you got 4 heavy hitters in this West region. Moving on to the last region. I'm getting goosebumps, man. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. Put it on the wall. Because the madness is real. So let the madness begin. It's going to be a great week. Man, every time I'm glad I put this TV on mute because I'll be watching these cats and they just be hyping up losers, man. You listen to them cats, they just, I don't know. Oh, this team, definitely the upset brewing. And then, I mean, who knows though? That's the other thing about this whole tournament. You have to expect randomness. You have to expect to be wrong and almost prepare to be wrong in order to succeed. It's a crazy thing. You got to just bet. I don't know how to put it, man. I'll be giving out my bets through this whole thing with y'all. But for anybody that's new to this, This bracket is a monster. A monster, I tell you. Few come out alive. Moving on to the East bracket. Purdue-ski boys have an easy road over at TSU 3rd Ward, going hard. Or Fairleigh Dickinson, depending on who comes out of there. I actually think Fairleigh Dickinson sends TSU back to Trey Ward, and Fairleigh Dickinson goes up against Purdue. Memphis, Florida Atlantic. I love Memphis and what they're doing right now, how they're playing the last month. Also have Florida Atlantic Final Four tickets. I got Boise State, Florida Atlantic, and Oral Roberts. I got a few others. I got West Virginia to win it all, Bama to win it all. What else I got? I got a bunch of teams that's not on here, futures from earlier. I got Michigan State to Final Four, Michigan State to win it all. Providence Final Four, Providence win it all. I threw a whole bunch of futures in. If you're listening to the show since November 7th, I've probably given out 50 futures. Not all on the tournament. Probably 20 of them on the tournament. 30 of them on the season. But anyway, Florida Atlantic and Memphis. That is a... I don't even know how to explain it, man. Like this Kent State Indiana game, I know I'm going Kent State. That's like, hey babe, we got the money to get the Rottweiler bet right there. This game, I'd be nervous to put $1 on it, man, and I bet hundreds and thousands of dollars. Memphis, Florida Atlantic. Whew, that number should probably be. I'd say Memphis -2, and I don't know. I do like Memphis. I'd probably take Memphis if it was -2. I'm going to write them a pencil, Memphis. Even though this Florida Atlantic team is something serious. Duke, Oral Roberts. Oh my God. Everything I just said about Memphis, Florida Atlantic, Duke, and Oral Roberts. I'm going to write Oral Rob in pencil just because I got that futures ticket on him. I want to be hype on him. I want to be excited about him. But I guarantee you, I'm probably going to be betting Duke -3, Duke -4, and be excited about it. I might even look to get Duke first half -1.5 or something like that, depending on what this number is. I'd switch it to Oral Roberts if it got over 7 or maybe even 10. 7 to 10 or plus, of course. But if I can get +7, I'd probably talk myself into it. If I can get +10, I'm diving in. That's Duke and Oral Roberts I'm talking about. I might take Duke anything under -5 in the hook and take Oral Roberts plus anything over 7. Tennessee taking on the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana. I think Tennessee goes down early in this bracket. I thought that before the injury. Think that even more after the injury. However, I'm not sure if the Louisiana of Lafayette Raging Cajuns is the team that can beat Tennessee. I'm going to write Tennessee down off the top of my head. I don't know why I'm into numbers all of a sudden. Tennessee -8.5 feels about good. I think even without Ziegler, they get the job done and win by 15-20. Kentucky and Providence. Boy, oh boy. I think Providence gets the 1-point upset here. I'm going to write it in pencil. I'm going to go Provi, baby. Even though I love what Kentucky has done the last 30 days. Absolutely love it, man. They're playing some basketball under Calipari after the rocky start. Kansas State and Montana State. Kansas State, Montana State. Give me K-State. This probably be a game that's an upset because I'm so confident in K-State. But I also, this probably be the second team after VCU that I know little to much about. So I would definitely look them up. And Vermont, I'm going to have to do some looking up, even though part of me wants to just, I'm writing Quet right now, Marquette. I'm going to put Marquette with the pencil. Look up Vermont. I'm going to look up Montana State, Michigan State, USC. I don't know why they're doing us dirty. We couldn't get none of these small schools, but I'm penciling in Michigan State. I'm riding with Izzo and the Spartans. They're my only team in the bracket. We going out swinging, baby. We ain't dogs yet. We a 7 seed, but I'm going against that 2 seed too. Something's telling me Vermont. My gut telling me Vermont. Vermont, 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 Vermont. I won so much money on Marquette to win the Big East regular season title plus 2,000. I feel like I gotta fade them just because I'm gonna try and ride them. I don't know if y'all know if that makes any sense. Those are my initial reactions. The teams I wrote down in pencil: San Diego State, North Carolina State, Baylor, Utah State, Arizona, Drake, Kent State, Iowa State, Xavier, Colgate, UCLA, Boise State, Zaga, TCU, UConn, Arkansas, Memphis, Oral Roberts, Tennessee, Providence, Kansas State, Michigan State, Marquette. Now, I'm literally going to deep dive into this tournament for probably the next 4 hours. Then I'm going to go to bed. I got a busy day tomorrow. Probably spend another 4 hours on it tomorrow night. Another 4 hours on it. I might spend 6 to 7 hours on it Tuesday. Pardon me. And then Wednesday, another 6 to 7 hours on it. I like to be prepared. I don't like to get to Thursday and just see what happens. We'll have all my Thursday bets and Friday bets done by Wednesday at the latest. Thursday and Friday comes, I'm watching the game. I'm drinking some beers, taking some shots. All my bets will be in, and I will have numbers written down that I'm looking for the live betting situations. Like, for instance, just knowing how Illinois kind of plays over the year this season, they come out slow. If they get down, if I get plus 11 or 12 on the Illinois team in this first round, I'll probably look to take advantage of that. I'm gonna look for teams that don't close out games well, and I'm gonna look to take some plus double-digit spreads that started off pretty close to even live. I will have all those numbers written down every day throughout this week. The show will be 100% on college basketball and breaking down this bracket. I'm gonna deep dive into each region, each game, each bracket, and possibilities of the next round. I'm definitely gonna have y'all covered, man, on this March Madness because the madness is here. So all this stuff I'm talking, I will bring to y'all live. I will probably be going tomorrow. I'm gonna do something weird. I'm gonna do an early show. Get out of here, go get some stuff done, and then I'll just be hunkered down in the house the rest of the week for March Madness. Probably come to y'all for about an hour each morning. Definitely Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll make sure y'all get all my bets. I don't know how I'm going to do Saturday or Sunday yet. I might just run the show through the weekend. Tonight is a special event. It's Selection Sunday. I decided to bring y'all a show on Sunday evening. So I might do the same next weekend and just do a shorter, who cares how short it is, long it is. I might come with a Saturday morning, Sunday morning edition of Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. Hopefully by tomorrow morning, we get some lines on these games so I can really crunch, punch, and smunch the numbers. I would do my numbers and projections probably tonight and then look to compare them to the book's numbers in the morning, and definitely come back tomorrow morning for Captain by a Hook with the red beard live every morning at 7 a.m. on YouTube. Please take all wagers at your own risk, and please gamble responsibly. Dives.